Good afternoon. Today I'd like to tell you why we chose a research hospital for the treatment of our son's acute lymphoblastic leukemia over a standard hospital. Your child has cancer, words a parent never wants to hear. After the initial shock of hearing these words, I asked the physician, "What do I do?" His reply was, "If you stay in Monroe, Louisiana, your child will be dead in 24 hours. But you have the options of going to Ochsner's or Tulane in New Orleans, Louisiana, Children's Hospital in Little Rock, Arkansas, or St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee." I then asked him, "If it was your child, where would you go?" He said, "My child wouldn't have to have this." Then he said St. Jude had the highest survival rate of any hospital at the time. In 1962, when the hospital opened, survival rate for ALL was 4%. In 86, when my son was diagnosed, it was over 85%. Today, it's at 94%. He had to have a blood transfusion in order to make the 6-hour trip to St. Jude. And while he was having the transfusion, my husband was sitting him, I went home to pack. Thousands of questions were running through my mind, so I called a family friend whose daughter had had AML several years earlier and went to St. Jude. She first replied, "St. Jude is where you want to be. You will feel at home, and you will have peace and rest knowing that the doctors there know what they're doing, and that your child would be treated as a child and not a sick patient." She also told me to take extra clothes because at St. Jude we would be treated on an outpatient status unless he started running a fever or had an infection. I asked her, "What about money?" She said, "St. Jude will not charge you. So I won't have to have out-of-pocket and co-pays and deductibles?" She said no. That St. Jude, that over 75% of their income is private donations from schools, people in general making monthly pledges, athletes, actors, and musicians. With St. Jude's income being over 75% private donations, they are not held to the restrictions of an insurance company. St. Jude does not charge a patient for care. They also provide transportation after you have been accepted as a patient. They provide lodging for the child and their parent. They provide assistance with meals. They also will provide assistance with lodging for visiting family while you're there. You will be there for 3 months without coming home. No private hospital has these benefits. St. Jude was started by an actor. Actors support it, musicians, athletes. They all make commercials for St. Jude telethons. She informed me the doctors will treat your child on their level. They will explain everything to the child if he's old enough. They hide nothing from the child. You will feel very comfortable with your physician. The hospital is geared for children. They have age-appropriate playrooms. They have a gym. They provide arts and crafts areas, a TV room, arcade games. All of this to keep the child busy while he waits to go between his appointments, as you have multiple in every trip. And they have a teacher that will help them stay up with their studies. You get their schoolwork from their local school, and the teacher comes in, whether you're in the hospital or at your motel room, and helps your child with their studies. March 26, 1986 was a day that forever changed my family's life. Normal? What would be normal now? You learn that normal, as you knew it before, never comes again. And you know that you will create a new normal for the different stages of treatment. After care and after completion of treatment, you have another normal. For 10 years, you return to the hospital on a schedule for follow-up treatment. After the 10 years, they continue to follow your child throughout his life to see what, if any, problems treatment has caused, or the cancer itself. March 26, 1986, my life changed. But now, 31 years later, my son is considered cured. He's also a Louisiana Tech grad, and he has worked in cancer as a nurse with children for several years. Yes, a research hospital with a cutting-edge treatment and development, and employees that are dedicated to finding out, let's cure this cancer.